right, ladies and gentlemen, it's game 3. Strap up and get ready to go. It's going to be a wild one. We're going fractal, and by the end of the day, we're going to have a champion. We're going to have a CWC champion for Season 4. By the end of the day, it's going to be Ulysse, or it is going to be Barking Gang. And it's going to be a wild one. Going to be a wild one. These guys have had some great matchups in the past. Monday's game was off the charts. It was literally a race to see who could chop out and finish Patella Palace first to see who would win the game. Because I was told by Destoria, he continued to play the game through to see how fast his culture would accelerate, his tourism accelerate once he hit flight and had gotten environmentalism and had his baddies work going. And the Moais. Sorry, it was the Moais. And he had a ton of them. And combined with a rock band, he won like 10 or 12 turns later. So they would not have made it to another Congress to finish it off had they figured out a way to deny that 1 point. So Zoc Strats, Congress victory, and because of it, we're going to have a game 3 today. And boy, oh boy, am I excited. Who's going to complain about that, am I right? Yes, there is one remap left for Ulysse. Barking Gang does not have a remap, but Ulysse does have a remap in the bag, I do believe. That is correct. Thank you for being here, everybody. Draft is going to be another interesting one. It was a pretty wild draft last game with all the new crazy civs that came out. Atlas, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. With all the crazy stuff that went on in with the update recently from Fire Axis, the draft was just wild and really ultimately a fantastic draft from Barking Gang. A well-played game. Ulysse basically ignored Diplo as far as the victory type is concerned anyway. And they got beat when they didn't really have to. It was really well played on both ends though. Everyone had a very interesting game, did good things and had some troubles on the other end as well, and interesting timings. Jack, of course, as we talked to him after the game last time, had a little bit of a hiccup obviously and didn't have his best game, and he admitted that. So I'm sure he'll be chomping at the bit to have a much better game today, and I'm sure he will. One of the best players in the world. He'll be looking to redeem himself for sure. Have a good stream. Thank you very much, Dr. Stas. Yes, usually, I mean, the game was supposed to start 2 minutes ago. Somebody's missing from Barking Gang is still missing somebody, and hopefully, they won't be long because this is the big game. It's supposed to start on time. The Super Bowl of Civilization 6 is here. Strap up. It's time to go. No lates. No excuses. The real question as far as draft goes is who will finally ban Koopa. I know the Koopa hasn't been banned and he's been picked in both games. Had a pretty good impact on the first game, but not ultimately enough. Well, actually, no, they won, but it didn't end up. I mean, it was really Jack that was about to kill everybody. That was probably the deciding factor in that game. But in game 2, what was funny about game 2... okay, somebody's in. Looks like somebody's in on the way in, Lady Arlene. So looks like we're almost there. What was funny about game 2 was that with Coupe having such an amazing game and simmed their brains out, because they went top tree instead of bottom tree, they were kind of late to the party, and they actually didn't have an impact on the game, despite being able to control the game statistically. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Here we go. Norm's dog. What? I missed something in chat, maybe? Who sings at halftime? The dog. The dog sings whenever she wants. Okay, the draft's on. Okay, everybody pay attention. Let's go. It's time to start banning civs. Spain, first off the board from Barking Gang. Barking Gang's team 1, yeah. So Barking Gang has got Spain off the board. They got lucky that they wasn't in a crazy good spawn last time for Spain, but Spain could be absolutely nuts. And of course, with their conquistador push, they can do absolutely crazy things. Also, no surprise, Number 2 off the board is our friend Kamir, who got absolutely buffed out of their mind in the last patch. Jayavarman is unstoppable. Passive food and culture out the door. You do not want them to get in the hands of the other team, so they're banned for sure. We'll see what Bark and Gang's plan is. Obviously, when Bark, so whoever's team 1, right? We go over this all the time, every time, right? But whoever's team 1, they're going to ban civs that they don't want the other guys to play, but they're not. It's not really the ones they want to play, right? It's guys they want to keep out of the hands of the other guys, but they personally want something else, right? So they don't want Byzantium, obviously, as you can see, and they don't want Spain because they banned them, but they also don't want the other guys to have them. Norway also off the board. Norway, insanely powerful. The Berserker got a huge buff in the last patch and was already a really good civ. And on FRACTAL, who knows what we're going to get for a map type. So Norway, so versatile, can fight on the land and the sea and do all the things. So they're going to be off the board. No one's getting them today. I would imagine that Ulysse was just thinking, no way do they want them to be first picked. So that's the job of team 2 in the draft, right? Is who are the guys that we don't want them to have, and we don't even get a chance to pick, right? It's just who are these guys we don't want to have. Mapuche, another one that got a huge buff. They're basically broken at this point in the game. So they're not surprised to come off with Byzantium. So really selectful picks, but it's again it comes down to who. Now there's going to be a lot of civs left that used to be part of the banning meta who are going to just slip on through. There's the Russias and Canadas of the world, of course, and then there's Ethiopia and Gaul and Mali and all of these other types of civs that generally got banned a lot. And obviously France, like I see Catherine Black Queen here. If Catherine Black Queen doesn't come off the board, Jack will have a conniption because he knows just how crazy Catherine Black Queen is now with the new buffs. If they don't ban them here and then they get picked. Okay, so Gorgo off the board. Another one that got a big buff. I would rather have gotten rid of Catherine Black Queen. I would not be surprised to see him picked first. If they don't get picked first, I can't imagine they won't go in one of the next 2. He was talking up Gorgo earlier. Well, he's not going to be playing them. They just banned him. So it clearly wasn't part of their drafting strategy in the end. So Gorgo off the plate. Again, basically new patch, new patch, new patch, new patch, new patch. All of these bans are because of the new patch. Coupe back on the board again today. The only one that isn't really from the patch was Byzantium. All these picks were basically the patch made these guys too strong. We got to get rid of them. So now it's like all the usuals are back in. Coupe's on the board. I would think right here, Mongolia and or Catherine Black Queen should be picked no matter what. Mali is sitting there as well. Japan, another good one, especially on fractals. Japan's very versatile on a fractal map. I think that was a good idea to grab them. I'd like to see Catherine Black Queen here. Or Vicky. Vicky would be really good on a fractal map, maybe. Depending on how the map ends up looking, Vicky would be really strong. So many good options. Like it really puts you inside the idea of the strategy that the teams want to go for today. So it's gonna be nuts. For this game, I believe it was a coin flip. It was a coin flip that decided who would be team 1 and who would be team 2. And I believe the map was chosen by a random generator as well. Fractal maps are basically random. I haven't played them that much, but they generally are pretty random. They're kind of like, sometimes they just end up as a weird Pangea. Sometimes they have lots of continents. Rome also obviously very strong civ, but I'm really surprised here at some of the civs that are slipping through. But again, it's all part of the new meta that came about with the latest update from Fire Access, and it's just throwing everything for a loop. And I don't know. I mean, Rome's great civ. I don't know if I'd have taken them over Catherine or Molly, but yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good considering things are kind of random on Fractal. Rome is so versatile; they can do a little bit of everything. So That's a good point for Japan as well. Like I said, Japan's so good and versatile in this map type. So it's gonna be wild. Sprig. There we go. Catherine Black Queen. I was like, if she doesn't get banned or picked in the first phase again, like, holy cow. I gotta say, right now, Catherine Black Queen wraps up the first phase of picks, and I like Barking Gang's draft. Coupe can be so strong depending on how they spawn on this map, and then, of course, if Catherine can get to her UU, it's GG's maybe. Riverhill Blue, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Thank you all for being here. The draft is half over. It's time to ban 4 more civs. Dido off the board. That was Ulysse with their first ban of the second phase. So basically each team's got a naval. Each team's got a naval right now. On a fractal, I don't know if you want to get a second one or not. Because I think it's like fractal could end up being a situation where like you don't actually have that much water to fight over. Like it's just can end up anyway. Yeah, Dido, no Dido for you. No Dido for you. No, I agree, Daniel. I think that Vicky would be a great choice on this map. I think Vicky would be a fantastic choice on this map, and I would think it would be potentially a target in the upcoming second portion, assuming they make it past this banning phase. You know, they get first pick in the second half draft, and I would think it would be a decent chance they would want to target Vicky. But still, lots of other civs. Like there's still Persia is really versatile when there's potential water in the game. Scythia as well has that versatility, but can tend to be an rail dog sometimes. Mali, of course, we talked about. Gaul and Ethiopia, but again, Fractal's so random. You might get a big chunk of land and might be heaven, or you might end up with, you know, kind of crazy looking stuff. You never know. Teddy Rough Rider, another one who got a big buff during the patch. They're off the board. No Mongolian Olympic swimmers, unfortunately. Mongolian Olympic swimmers will not be seen for a third time in a row. Jack came one turn short of showing their skills during game 1. And, of course, they got banned in the previous 2 games. Or, well, previous game and this game. So, in the last 2 games of the series. Yeah, Mali, Ethiopia, both very strong picks. It's funny how one update from Fire Axis and the whole meta is thrown on its head. And normally Mali and Ethiopia would be banned in the first phase. And if they weren't, then they'd be picked immediately. And now they're just floating on by. Russia, Canada, same kind of thing. But yeah, like, who knows with Fractal? You might not have any sort of tundra to make them worth it. There's a Gaul ban. Certainly smart. Keep them out of the hands of the other guys. But this, again, who knows? Who knows what we're going to see here? I mean, I think Molly's the pick here, but I'd prefer Vicky. I think they pick Molly because Ulysse just loves them. Lej really enjoys playing Molly. It's just such easy gold, right? It's just such easy gold. You know, Japan doesn't tend to make commercial hubs, so you know if they depending on how it looks like they might be making a lot of harbors. But if you know if they end up in a weird inland sea or whatever, then you're not guaranteed that they will. And Trajan could go commercials first, so you know it's hard to say. But certainly if they want to have gold. Lady Six Guy. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see. I mean, they obviously need that chunk of land. They don't need a big chunk of land, but they need their chunk of land. But they like Lady Six Guy, and they're going to jump back on the bandwagon. I love Lady Six Guy. Don't get me wrong. But I'm shocked at the pick when Vicky is sitting there, when Molly is sitting there. I'm really actually quite surprised at the choices. We'll see what's going on. Yes, Peninsula Gaming. Nothing like getting. Now they do have a remap, so they have some spawn dependent kind of civs here. If they don't really like what they see, they could definitely throw a. They could definitely throw a remap in the wrench. So. There you go, Vicky. I liked Vicky pick there for Ulysse. They didn't take him, and again, I feel like Barking Gang is winning this draft right now, much like they did a couple of days ago. I feel like they're getting beat on draft again as well, Crispy. I do. I feel like they're losing the draft a little bit right now. I felt like Rome. I like Japan pick. So versatile, so strong on a fractal map. Rome, it's fine. They're a good civ. They can do anything, and they're versatile on a map is very unpredictable, I suppose. The Lady Six Guy pick, I just not. They just wanted a challenge, yeah. So here we go. We're gonna find out the rest of Barking Gang squad. Menelik, Ethiopia. Is it locked? It's locked. There you go. It's locked in. It's there you go. That's it. That's what they're gonna play with. They're gonna play with Vicky. They're gonna play with Menelik. So what do they got for gold producer? Vicky, obviously an easy gold producer with half price harbors. And then Coupe will be able to go harbors as well. So they'll make lots of gold. They'll be able to fund a black queen. And then, of course, Menelik. If they're going to build a military, they'll need funding because they don't generally go commercials, obviously. So, yeah, they've got a good mix of money makers and money suckers, I suppose. So now, in the next 15 seconds, we'll find out the rest of the Ulysse draft, who they'll end up with. Maybe. Any Jack the Rippers. Is that their pick? It was weird because it wasn't showing up for me, and then all of a sudden it showed. I mean, I don't like the pick, but it's a valid pick. It's not like it was, you know. They effed up the pick? Oh, no. I wonder if they'll... I mean, Lady Six Guy can make some gold. Hojo can make some gold. Did they really mess it up? I know that a lot of people on their team like Gandhi. Destoria likes to play Gandhi a lot. Lej will even play them. Like, Destoria loves it. So I'm not surprised to see it. I was just like, it showed up in kind of a weird fashion there. Was it a random pick, PB? Wow. It was a random pick. By the way, PB, congratulations on the check mark, bud. Well deserved. They were discussing and no one picked. They got lucky it wasn't a terrible pick. Like, that could have ended up being, like, something awful, right? Yeah, the story you could play. It's just, like, depending on the map, it could be a fantastic pip, too, right? Like, you never know. They don't really have... I mean, Japan, I suppose Japan, if they're close, Japan could go get a religion and feed it to Destoria as well. Oh, wait a minute. Who's playing what here? Who's Maurice de... The hell? So they're just missing around here. So MJK is going to be on Rome, it looks like. Lej is going to be on Hojo. That's no surprise there. He likes to play Japan. Destoria, that's no surprise. Jack down here, Lady Six Guy. Jack played a couple of really good games with Lady Six Guy. In particular, he had one game he loved with Lady Six Guy. I'm not sure if that would have been the plan for him to have him, but maybe it was what he wanted. I don't know if anybody was listening to his stream. Lej on Japan is no surprise at all, yeah. I know, thanks, it involved playing lots of Civ. It does, a lot of Civ. As you know, I got extremely close to that checkmark myself and somehow got denied twice despite meeting the requirements, playing lots and lots of Civ, and finally was just burnt out and had to back away. And I decided at that point I was never going to go back to playing stuff that I didn't want to play at any point just to get the checkmark. But maybe someday, who knows? Maybe not. We'll see. Jack simming to science victory. I mean, I think he would love that. I think he would love it. Fractal's a weird one. Fractal's a weird one, for sure. He could very easily get his own little piece of fractal land that has exactly everything he needs to have a good game, like to sim to victory, no problem. So yeah, it's entirely possible to get a good chunk of land. It does, just because it's fractal doesn't mean it's like a weird archipelago looking thing, right? Like there's a good chance you can get chunks of land here. I've seen fractals turn out to be like almost like a weird looking Pangea, so you never know. Heard would have done the same if I missed the second apply. Yeah, it's a grind, and you know, I'm sure there's a good chance if I had just kept the grind up and stayed a little bit miserable, playing Civilization 6 for a couple more months, and maybe I would have had a check mark as well. But end of the day, other than being able to have been able to supply a lot more emotes to my community, I'm okay with it. Let's hope for a Bermuda on somebody. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, could you imagine wrapping it up with a science victory? In the 30 PB posted, we saw Pangeas that looked like fractals, so it's a surprise what we got. There you go, Atlas, yeah. How old are the players? I mean, I know Jack is 24. I think Lej is a little on the older side, maybe not as old as I am. I don't know. Probably most of them are in their 20s, early 30s at the most. But I think almost all of them are probably in their 20s. I honestly don't know, other than Jack for sure, what anybody's rage is. And the only reason I know that Jack just had a birthday like a couple months ago, and everybody's making a big deal about it on stream, and he gets asked almost every day how old he is. So Jack's younger than Pog. Okay, so here you go. It is kind of a weird Pangea. There you go. Kind of a weird Pangea. City-state distribution. Bunch of north and south, mostly nothing really in the middle. We have a settle already from Barking Gang. France has Earth Goddess Central. Floodplains Pantheon. Nice candidate to make the newest Great Wonder. Magnus Chop Chop. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tight. It's going to be pretty tight. Let's take a look. Oh, wow, look at this. Literally min distance Ethiopia, but that's a teammate. Ethiopia's got absolute garbage. Coastal. They can get 3 settles in and then have to come down this coast. They could, I suppose, just go straight coastal and go over here, but it's not a very nice spawn for them, to say the least. We've got England down here with a really nice setup, actually. This is a really nice setup for England. I wouldn't be complaining if I was them at all. We got Dystoria in between. So that's a lot of pressure to put on them. And then this is Japan up here, I'm assuming. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. These guys are going to be able to support one another, but they're going to be able to put a lot of pressure on England here on the land. Rome actually has a really nice setup. Rome has a really nice setup. Lots of good land. Where's Jack? Is Jack up here? Jack, okay. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is exactly what he needs. Now, he's not perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. So settled there's in the water, but you can always go 2 here, 2 there. This is actually really good for him. I'm only seeing the 1 plantation is the only problem. Yeah. I'm only seeing 1 plantation. So he's going to have to stack it around, and it's actually got a horse around it. He's going to have to stack around that. Because this is like, this would have been, if there was Norm, let's go. How you doing, South Ricks? They do have a remap token, Falcon. They do have 1 remap token. Just Ulysse does, not Barking Gang. It would be amazing if there was like 2 or 3 more plantations. I mean, this is just unfortunate. There's 1 way up here. If there was like 2 or 3 more plantations around here, you know, like just like 1 or 2 more wines and maybe a banana somewhere, this would be god tier for them. There's tons of hills for production, which is often a problem for them. You could get like a 10-city setup, get amazing observatories, and just roll with like no pressure at all. But unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do a lot. Oh yes, Coupe. Coupe is in the. Oh, it's not. I saw red in the water. I'm like, Coupe is right here. They may get you baited by 1 tile. They could actually do a wonder settle over here, but it's garbage land, so they could end up in a really garbage location. They'd have 1 sick tile here, but that's about it. Now, it would push them in the direction to help Vicky, potentially. If they went right, they'd end up on actually a decent spot with a couple of nice city-states. They could actually kind of have this to themselves, and it's actually pretty nice. They'll actually, one way or another, they'll come and find this fairly quickly and be able to work it if they want. Some pretty good tiles. Nothing spectacular, actually, but yeah, like nothing amazing, but good enough kind of thing. An easy city-state that you could kill Venice really quick as well if you wanted to. Or just kill Antananarivo really quick if you didn't want to try and hold them. Yeah, be interesting. I feel like they're in a good spot. Japan has got a pretty good setup here. Some good campus options. Some nice reefs and stuff like that along the coast that they can work. They'll be well protected here. Oh wait, no, Paris is closer than I thought, actually. Oh, I was thinking, because I went this way, I was thinking it was more of a gap here. So potentially some pressure here, and then potentially some pressure here. So really tough spot for England here on Barking Gang side. They'll have, I mean, yeah, not even a great setup for... They can't even really do much. It's Tundra, and then they're right into fighting against India. And then, of course, Ethiopia is going to be a lot of weird potential naval battles. It's going to be an interesting game. Like, this is really bad setup here for them. Really, they have 2 civs in particular that have a terrible setup. Both England and Ethiopia are in a terrible position. This is a pretty good spot for London as far as, Earth Goddess potential up here, but then not down here, so great. Magnus Chop, Rice Settle, but then, you can set up in here. You got mountains, so it's not a bad setup, but it's super grasslands, gang. Production starved, mostly flat land, so it's nothing special either. I would imagine that at this point, Barking Gang's probably praying that that Ulysse uses their token. Sorry, chat's flying by, and I apologize. I'm sure I'm missing lots of stuff. He's tilted about the Rome pick. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Rome pick myself. I don't blame Jack for being a little bit upset. That was for having that be the pick. And he's probably not going to be all that happy about. He's probably not going to be all that happy about the spawn he's got either. If Lej and Gandhi are real barking gang, yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? Is like, how do you compete? Like, if France is allowed to free sim to their UU, they can run people over, though. That's the thing. This isn't a great setup, but at least they're not particularly vulnerable. That was a hill, I hope, right? Yeah. So we'll see. Turn 3. Jack likes his spawn. I mean, I think Jack should like his spawn as far as like what he sees now. What he sees now, this is amazing. This capital will be absolutely ridiculous. The problem is he's going to have to figure out a way to make a lot of hay out of this one thing. When he finds out that it's the only plantation that he can make on his whole spawn, he'll be less happy. Rome's got a really nice setup as well, and a lot of space, and then like even here, so like, yeah, like they're kind of crammed in. Let's see what they did here. So they're gonna end up settling here, and it's gonna be pretty average tiles. Other than this one, it's gonna be pretty average tiles for the opening. I don't know where he went with the warrior. The warrior's further down. Okay, so he's still not even looking over to the right where it's much better. So he's going to end up coming down here to settle the deer. But like I said, pretty average location for him. It's really quite bad. This wonder's kind of unworkable, these tiles early on. There's not going to be any food for him. Like, this is really bad. He's got tundra, which will get cut off here. There's absolute crap all the way up to candy. If he goes here, then he's taking stuff away from his teammate. Like, it's really tough setup. Yeah, he can go to universities. And I mean, if he does this right, like, you could do a pretty cool setup here too, right? Like, you could he could put like Gov Plaza here, and then campus, or what do you call it, observatory here, and then another city's observatory here, and then another city's observatory here, and then, you know, at least you'll have 3 really good observatories around it. And then once he gets, like, you know, down here, there's spots where you could just surround it by farms. You know, he could surround them by farms up in here. So he'll be able to do... Oh, I didn't even see Torah. Oh, boy, I didn't even see this. Oh, my God. Has he seen that yet? Oh, he hasn't even seen it yet. This is absolutely glorious here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1... So this is a settle here on ideal. He won't do ideal setup, though, in this situation, because he's missing some anyway. He has a couple good options here. He's going to see Torres eventually, and he'll absolutely love his life. Since Firex, so Gaul, I feel like Maori really isn't the impressive anymore. No, I agree. I don't think Maori, other than we saw yesterday or Monday, Maori's ridiculous on Highlands. But I agree. I think that their UU is essentially useless now. In fact, it's really more than useless. The TOA is actually garbage compared to anything now, since they're going to need to adjust it. Since the setup with the men-at-arms. Go finals. Here we go. Settler incoming. Settler incoming here. No resource to farm. It makes it a little slow to your plantation, but not too big a deal. He'll be able to accelerate really big on this lineup here. With this spawn, like he's got a god tier capital. He's gonna have some god tier expands up here. Really good land over here, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could do an ideal. This is actually an ideal distance right here. He could do a pretty good setup right here. Settle there, there, and there, and have a lot of really good cities. He could settle here and here for a couple really good cities. Something else out here. Maybe a couple in here. Like he's gonna have a really big game and complete and total free sim. Like complete and total free sim. He's gonna have to be careful about the coast, because his Japan is kind of stuck, right? So Japan can't help him on this coast, which means that Maori will essentially be able to control this open area. So he's going to have to be very careful about his coast. That's the only real problem he's got. Yeah, we'll take a look at continents here in a second, right after remap boat. We'll find out. I don't think there's any way they remap this. Jack's got to love what he's seeing. Rome's got tons of space. Japan spawn is fine. There's no reason why they would remap this, I don't think. I can't imagine. Yeah, Ulysses got so much space. Yeah. The votes are coming in, and the yays have it. Wow. They want to relobby and have Omega sub in. Why? I don't understand the remap. They had 2 relics? I know Rome got it. What? I don't know. Like, Rome's got god tier land and space for days. They're getting a forest fire. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that they didn't want France to be able to kill Japan. But ultimately, you let them have France. If France is next to somebody and you let them get to their UU, they're going to kill somebody. So, if you're going to try to remap just based on whether or not, I don't know. Lady Irwin, yes, the remap token was used. For some reason, the remap token was used by by Ulysse. Sorry, I'm just looking here, reading the messages, getting ready for the relobby. Yeah, they could have just. I mean, like Destoria was right there. He could have just Veru rushed him and just derailed them, right? Let Japan sim, and then there was plenty of space. They could have had Destoria just build like 5-6 cities, spam Veru, and just erel into France for 50 turns, and make them build units instead of campuses, and delay the UU, and then let Japan free sim, and then Japan can defend it, somewhat, and let Jack and on Maya and or Rome just free sim their brains out. Like literally, they had unbelievable spawns compared to everybody else on the map. Like literally a bad choice. Yeah, the only ones you had a remap was Ulysse, and they used it, and it was just ultimately. I mean, we see everything, right? We see everything. So Jack doesn't know at this point that he's got a wonder spawn. He's going to have a wonder expand, and a really good one. He had Torre del Pain. like min distance settle from his capital, and he could have gotten 2 cities on it, and it was a really good one. And he doesn't know that. Somebody in his chat might be telling him now, but he had, and he also doesn't know that he was complete free sim. Like, he wouldn't have had to build 1 archer for era score. That's all he would have had to do for the next 60, 70 turns. Really quite something. So we have a sub. Omega is going in, and Sprigante is coming out. There you have it. Go. We got a barking gang fan in the room. There you go. Agathy, in some way, I'd be happy to see Ulysse win. They were in the finals before and tried for season 4, for 4 seasons. Yes, it might be their moment. Yeah, it'd be an impressive feat for them to win. But ultimately, given everything, what just happened? It just pushed me up a spot. Just waiting on. Now we're getting errors. Oh, that was from before. Oh, okay. I was like, what? Now it looks like he's okay? Yeah. Ulysse drafts. I agree. I haven't liked Ulysses drafts in any of the 3 games. I thought I thought Monday game 2. I thought their draft was quite bad and they got out drafted badly. I feel like that their draft this time wasn't quite as bad, but I don't really feel like they got super out drafted. I think Japan and Rome are both very strong and versatile. I don't mind Lady Six Sky, but I think that they could have had Black Queen is the thing, right? They could have Black Queen. Molly they could have had. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Gandhi pick either necessarily, but I don't hate it either way though either. So yeah, Omega's going in. Yeah. Yeah, Gandhi was a mispick because they screwed it up, but ultimately it's still their pick, right? Whether it was a mistake or not, it was still the choice. What? Wait, what? Oh. They're waiting for me to ready up. I didn't realize that they. I was forgot that I had to ready up when they do a relobby. Duh. Is Norway banned for the pillaging? No, Norway's banned because their unique unit got a huge buff in the last patch. Huge buff. Their pillaging's in the BBG mod, the pillaging is kind of the least of Norway's abilities. Norway's a strong civ all around because they've been edited quite a lot in the BBG mod that we use in the multiplayer community. And you combine that with the Berserker getting a huge buff. Berserker would just be absolute insanity. With it going up now.
Now begins your greatest quest.
And yes, Fractal makes for a perfect map for Norway. In addition to everything else, it makes for a perfect map because there's typically a lot of coastline, and Norway obviously excels on the coast, and also Japan makes a setup for that too. Yes, Big Daddy. This is game 3 of a best 2 out of 3. The winner of today is the champion. No worries, Sivak. Happy to answer, bud. Happy to answer. Is this CWC? It sure is. It's the Civ World Cup. It's the finals, and it's game 3. All of the information that you need can be found in the title of the stream as well. Another funky map. Kind of Pangea-esque. With a giant inland sea, anyway. City-state distribution's actually a little bit better. It's not quite just north and south. There's kind of sporadic ones. A lot of coastal vulnerability here for coastal civs. We've got settles here for France and for Maya. So Jack took no time whatsoever to settle in. What's it look like for him? He is a 100% complete free sim again. 2-2 base, a couple of 2-2 sheep, and a 1-4 deer. Actual god spawn. But he is going to struggle once again. Oh, look at this again. Look at this again. This is going to be a big harassment for him. Really quite annoying to have this in your way. He's going to struggle, though, because he doesn't have a plantation anywhere for his capital. So he's going to have a pretty minimal adjacency for his observatory. Maybe a couple farms in a Gov Plaza. There's nothing down here. There's one here that he can kind of use for a couple of cities. This is a god spawn for any other civ, honestly. This is a god spawn for any other civ. But Maya, plus 5 campuses in here, plus 4 campus, plus 5 campus there. Really good land, tons of chops. But again, he's just Maya low spawn here. A Maya a low roll for Maya with one observatory or one plantation again. Yeah, anybody could you imagine being anybody even Rome down here? Or this would be a fantastic setup for even what's his name? Cyrus would love it down here. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's it. What do we got up here? We got Barking Gang on London and Japan. So they're on opposite oceans. So potentially Japan could push in here with pressure with the samurai. Rome is up here on a much worse spot. Honestly, just an absolutely horrible remap from Ulysse. It may or may not cost them the game, but they almost guarantee win the first map, and they rolled out of it, and they are absolutely in much worse shape. A 4 food base with 2/2 tiles is great, but he's tundra to his north. Water on both sides, mountains in the way of expands. He's going to be able to get good cities, but not a ton of them. And he'll have to fight on the coast. Now, Japan could control this coast, so he could potentially settle a little bit on the coast. But he is extremely squeezed in. You settle here. You could settle the lake. You could get a pretty average city in there. He'll have some decent campus setups. He's got really good tiles in here. He could 2-2 settle this, but it would take away the rest of the river. It's not bad. It's just not a lot of space compared to what he had last game in the last map. This is garbage compared to the last map he had. So there you go. What else do we have? We have Paris, all by their lonesome. Their only neighbor is Ethiopia, and they're to the north. These guys are going to have a complete wide open free sim, though. A complete wide open free sim for these two. Ethiopia in particular will enjoy that. Again, not a lot of space, like water on the sides. You got to be careful with the coast because you can get murdered, of course. Japan, though, this entire coast will belong to Japan. Same thing along here. They're going to have to stay off that coast. Oh, God. Oh. Preserve Kobistan. Let's go. This could be an auto remap. What's the rules, though? I don't think it is. No, it isn't. He settles in place. He could go 1, 2, 3. He'll have 4 cities. It's not. No. It's close. It's close. If you cut off a few tiles here or 1 tile up in here, if you cut these 3 tiles off, or if you cut like these 4 tiles off, it would be. Or wait, no, wait. You have to cut all of this off, yeah. But yeah, if you cut these 3 tiles off, it would be. Yeah, he can get 4 cities in, that's it. Oh, is it only 2 with CWC? Oh, there you go. So then it would have had to have literally been like an island half this size. So you have to be able to get 2 expands, not 3. Oh. So Destoria, I mean, I guess they go naval. There's a bunch of random land out here that's not used at the moment. If you go naval... Now, here's the interesting thing. We haven't checked this yet. Maori gonna settle pretty average again, although it will be on a wonder. It's a garbage one. He'll get some adjacencies off it, but it's not going to help his game much. It's going to be a battle in the seas, and Japan is inland sea, so he's not going to get any help. So it's going to be... Oh, God. I can't believe they remapped. Veru's in the sea to do a -5 would be interesting. If they could ever find a God of the Sea, it would be ridiculous. Actually has a +5 harbor here. No, it was Barking Gang who remapped in the first game. Ulysse had not remapped. So anyway, Settler coming for France. They're on complete free sim. You could literally on complete free sim just preserve this up. For those of you wondering, I did a tile porn video series on my YouTube channel, and I casted it on stream. At the end, I was using Teddy Bullmoose. I had 111 yields, I believe, was on the 3 tiles. 111 total yields on these 3 tiles with Teddy. Pictures in my Discord to prove it. So Japan, let's take a look at the settles overall. 2-2 base, 2-2. Some spices. Going to be very interesting battle here. Settler on the way early for England. Double scout for Japan. Scout directly into Settler for Rome. Jack on complete free sim. He's gone scout. They must have bought him a scout because he's all by his lonesome. They must have bought him a scout, and he's gone directly into Settler. I don't know what I just did there. There we go. Yeah, we'll see what happens. He's got housing problems right out of the gate, obviously, as you always do, but he's got good tiles to work. With that growth, I think he might be working the 1-4 to get a really fast Settler, I would think. But I don't know what he's going to do. Like, it just sucks. anybody else could have had great campuses here, and now you're Maya, and it's even worse than last time because, oh man, oh man. So 2-3 and a 2-2. Early builder to get this up and running. They have a head start to God of the Sea. And looks like they'll definitely get it. Quick settler. Builder's out. Builder's out, work on the fishies. Going to be really good tempo. This is the point right now where he realizes he's screwed. He's literally seen his entire map. He knows he's toast. Coupe would not be happy with their spawn, but they'll be happy to find out that Gandhi got screwed on spawn. So this is about as low roll as you can get on Coupe. They have Tundra garbage down here. They can get a quick take on a city state, but even this is not that great. They've got some decent land here. I guess they'll find all this and they'll be able to come and grab this. So they'll be taking some of it potentially from England, but they'll see this and be able to expand really well. So once they learn about this, it's not too bad. Maybe they take Namdal instead, actually. Although Namdal control would actually be much better overall. What do we have for city-states, by the way? Namdal and Antananarivo, both big. Zanzibar is nice. It's about it for really, really good ones. Kumasi's not bad. Cahokia, I actually think, is underrated. He could settle off the island because he's got to go naval, but where does he go, right? Like, I guess he could go down here, but then he's got to battle France. Not fun. Or he could go and try to fight for this against Coupe. Not fun. Yeah, that's the problem. He just dies. Oh, this spawn wasn't good enough, guys, so they're just going to go ahead and RNG that shiz. Oh, my Lanta. So they're finding out that they're kind of complete free sim on this peninsula. First settler's out and ready to get going. I'm not sure I would have gone. I would have gone here for my first settle, I think. But I don't know what they're going to do. Like, they're going to work here. They're going to have to buy it 1-2-2. Like, I don't really know what this is. Like, they want to set up a coastal Civ city to do early traders, maybe, but I don't know. I don't like it as a first. I would have gone here and then maybe there. And then something down here to pick up this. Like, this is so much better of a settle to get started. 2-2 base, lots of 2-2s to work versus 2-1 base, and you got to buy me a tile. Not my choice, but hey. Going to be a spice settle and working a 4-2 for England, and it's also going to give forward positioning in this direction. Also going to get another settle in here. Early campus potential. +4 campus quick if you want to get your science up for a push. And of course, they're going to want to get their culture up. Robot, yeah, they would have been tough. Like, it's a good point. If there was land here, then yes, Gandhi could have like settled like 6 or 8 cities, but then they still would have been 2v1'd into death anyway. So it's kind of a good point. If this was all land, it still pretty much would have been the same outcome. Yeah, I'm just trying to think right out of the gate. We're gonna get a. In fact, you know what? Let's do it real quick before we go any further. There you go. Could Gandhi go semi-Irel and keep Ethiopia off the coast? Well, the thing is that what the plan for them will be, obviously they have to go top tree, go naval, settle 4 cities, hopefully get some really good harbors, go free ink, and you know, maybe you could settle this down here. Like, this is a long ways, and maybe you could come down and settle this or something. This could potentially be decent. Naval units enter adjacent plots are granted their next promotion. So this, if they could ever control this, this could give them a bit of an advantage in the fight. Galleys are already out. So, you know, maybe they could put something together. It could, if they could ever find a way to stay in the battle on the sea, then, you know, it'll keep, like, obviously, you know, potentially there's already a city on the coast here, like, so maybe, who knows. Oh yeah, this would be this is extremely vulnerable. Like, this is going to have to be really well protected. They're going to have to keep up. It's going to be all about who's where in science this whole game now. Totally. So, settler out, another one coming. So this will head to the stone. Getting the pearls online. Ethiopia's come around the top here, so that we've got a bit of interaction here. Rome will be able to put some level of pressure on there. We've got fight for religion. Ethiopia is the only one earning points and is already projecting. So just don't want to be denied whatever it is they probably want, which I would imagine is probably coral. They typically want to get coral, although Feed the World wouldn't be terrible on their spawn. Well, if it wasn't for Maori, I would say maybe that would be the case, Agathi, but he's going to get found. Right? He's going to get found. In fact, where did the warrior go? Where did their warrior go? Oh, the warrior's up here. Okay. Yeah, he'll likely find him. Well, it depends. He hasn't put a like this is something he hasn't done, right? He's building all these caravels. He's going to go take a city state, I would imagine. My guess is it would be like he's currently searching with this builder as well. Maybe he kills Nan the Doodle. I think that would be a smart idea. A harder kill, but he could still get it done. So yeah, just fully good on into your settlers, right? I don't think he can get more than 4 cities, can he? No. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so he has got to settle somewhere here. Then he would settle somewhere in here. There's no way he can get. Yeah, it's 4 cities max. Now he can see this tile, right? So if he knows what he's talking about here, he should know that these 3 tiles shouldn't have production. So he should know this wonder's here. He 100%, in fact, he can actually kind of see the edge of it. He should know that this city or that this tile's here. There's no other reason why these tiles would have production on them like this, unless it was that wonder. So getting in the water and controlling that wonder is absolutely going to be vital for him to have a life in this game for any extended period of time. Probably the most likely encounter we see early is going to be right here on land. Japan is going with a holy site, going to get themselves a religion. Who knows what they'll do? Maybe they'll go crusade. I don't know. Rome's going to get 3 cities. Let's see what Jack's up to here. Jack is jumping right into Temple of Artemis. A very good idea given his spawn. He's going to be food starved, and it'll really help him out. It's a really good settle. He's got builders up. He's got, of course, his favorite pantheon in the world. People tease him about it, but it's actually, if you've got 3 or 4 early pastures, you're crazy not to take it for tempo. He's about to settle optimal location here, and you'll have optimal location there. And he's also by this time found out this is his only plantation, so he'll settle the rice, and he'll stack observatories around the plantation, and then put farms around those, and actually get some really good plantations overall. Plantations, really good observatories. Yeah, if you put one here, and then you can get 2 farms on it, so that would be, and then you can go to districts. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. You could go 2, 3. You can get 3 or 4 on each of these. It's too bad there's an amber there. You could have put another district there to make them both 5s, but you can also, yeah. So he'll be able to do somewhat of a setup there, and then everywhere else it's just going to be about trying to get some farms around them in order to get some level of science. Adamanaki would be a very good idea here. He's jumping in on Artemis, like you can see here. He won't have any trouble getting that, I don't think. Really good land. He's about to be pop 3 working the 1-4, and then he'll get this. This is probably actually only 4 turns away when he starts adding in the 3rd tile. And then, yeah, I mean, it's going to be, it's a good land. He's a little bit, snookered over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can actually put a city here, and it's actually fantastic, right? This is actually a fantastic city, and he can actually put it there. Or he could go, the problem is I don't think you can get one up here, so you might as well just go here and here. I think, yeah, you just go here and here with a couple cities, and then a couple cities up here, and then you can do a setup down here. He might as well get maximized cities with all the free sim he has, and then get to universities. And then what's his options here? I guess late game push to kill England, I suppose, or mid game. We should also check. I haven't done it yet, and I said I would. So as suspected, all the same continent, but the continent stops here. So literally no real advantage for France, other than if they wanted to invade here. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to make things extremely difficult for them in this circumstance. But we'll have to see what happens. Builder in the water here. You can come over here and explore a little bit, see what's going on. But potentially, if he could ever get a couple cities down in here and solidify up, who knows? Like coastal, protect. We'll see. And then good continent split here for luxuries. Not too bad. And then Jack's on a different continent of his own. So really unfortunate. Jack got a continent split and only found 1 stinking plantation. Like, actually the worst. Like, really, really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate for him. Like, look at this. Even if he had just gotten this, right? Even if he just gotten, like, a banana and a couple oranges, he'd be in better shape. Look at this city. Like, this city got 2 bananas. He got none. Actually, wait a minute. Where's this capital? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, this city right here can get a plantation on this. Or, sorry, an observatory on this plantation. This city, not so lucky. Unless he settled here. Like, look at this. Like, look at this, man. That's just such bad luck. Look at this settles. And he doesn't get to use them. Yeah, exactly. How much would he love to be Cahokia? If he'd have settled where Cahokia is, he could have cut off these pitches and just loved his life. Over here, all these settles. Look at this. He would have had less cities, but they would have been twice as good. And like I said, once he's working 3 tiles, the Artemis got cut way down. He'll be on 3 cities. He'll be on Artemis in 3 turns. Getting builders out. Really well improved tiles already because of the free builders he's getting. I would imagine he'll push right into settlers to keep his momentum going. He's on free sim. He doesn't have to have, like, there's no way this is a setup for like a science victory anymore like it was on the first map maybe. But he 100% can get a free sim going and get a timing push with his science and come up here and finish off whatever's left of this. He absolutely can do that. Let's double check in. So this is taken down. I was thinking he was probably going to take this city-state in Gazargamu, and that's what he did. He does have God of the Sea as suspected early. Settlers are coming along here. He's going to be on 5 cities before long. Anybody else going beyond 3 cities right now? Monuments going up for Lej. Builders coming in here for 4-city Rome, which is always, of course, the case because you can skip the monument part, right? You get the monuments for free, so when you're Rome, always nice to be chomping at the bit with builders. Yeah, we'll be curious to see how they divvy this up. England is going to be kind of starved for space. They could potentially come to this side, but yeah, it'd be hard to see what they're going to do. They're in a little bit of a squeezed-in spot, depending on if they can get help. What's the science looking like early? Gandhi on 8 science has actually got a bit of a lead. Ethiopia's got their religion. Feed the world and lay ministry. Okay, I had a feeling they may go feed the world simply because of their spawn being so much plains. Leaves core music still sitting out there. Lay ministry is a nice mix-up for them. Rome was coming in to harass, and the archer took care of business there, but that's not a big deal. Made them get an archer up early. Considering how free sim they are, making them get an archer up early is pretty nice, to be entirely honest with you. A couple more settlers coming, so France is going to get a little bit wider here very soon as well. Artemis next turn for Jack. We'll see which direction he goes. He's getting, of course, his observatories online. So, did I see Bermuda? No. Oh yeah, Bermuda is right here in the middle. Yeah. So that's actually interesting. Wait a minute. That's right. Oh wow. That could be a game changer. That could be a game changer, because if Japan could ever put together a navy, or Rome for that matter, they could potentially jump out here with units and come help Dostoria with control of this land. If they could control this sea with... Could you imagine Game 3 CWC Finals and Bermuda Triangle plays a pivotal role in the victory? Could you imagine? God of the Forge for Japan. So it looks like they're going a Rel Dog into England. England's looking to get to 5 cities here quick. I agree with you, Agathy. I agree with you. I think I like Jack's start. I don't like his spawn. I don't like the fact that he's got an actual 1 plantation. But that being... And it's under a volcano, so the thing might have to get repaired 1,000 times. And not to mention the campuses themselves. But he's going to have a really good setup. He can put another city here, which I'm sure he's going to start working on soon. I wouldn't be surprised to see a settler pop up here. He can put a city here, and he can put the plantation down, do some farm surrounds, and make them pretty good. He's going to get good science out of that early, give him some early momentum. It's going to be big. Does the Northern Sea connect to the main ocean? Up here? No. But he's going there. It doesn't connect anywhere. This middle one doesn't connect anywhere except Bermuda Triangle. Could very likely pop up out here somewhere and give Japan or now I don't know if anybody's passed this to see if they've actually found it. So they know that there's a very good potential for them to impact Destoria's game by helping him out here. Harbor's going up here quickly. He's actually going to win the race to the harbors, I think. This one's in 1. This one's in 1. But this one's in 4. He needs to get this one up. He's monument right now. Just a little bit of early momentum just because of the extra production you get. What's the Pantheon here? God of War and Plunder. That's going to be huge, by the way. And a culture tile settle. That's really nice as well. He's got some juicy tiles here from a flood. Give him some momentum. Builders to get some mines up for production would be big. There, speaking of which, there's a builder right there. At this point, you want the story to live, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking to pump some cash into his game. I wouldn't mind buying him a builder here, and maybe juicing up, getting the sea resources online, maybe getting him, quarrying a mine up or something like that. He should be buying, he needs to buy these tiles. He's working a 4-2, a 3-1, and a couple 2-1s. They need to be pumping money into him. Get this 2-2 online for this. This is actually a significant deal. He needs to have these tiles online. Yields at the moment, pretty equal across the board on money. 30, 40, 45, 2. Yeah, pretty equal. Slight hedge on Barking Gang, but Jack's got a huge start on stats, as you would expect from a Civ that can half-price campuses early. Destoria's got the edge in science right now, a little bit. I mean, you might not think it's a lot, but every little bit counts as they race along the top tree. Japan's taking Armagh quickly. That'll be nice momentum for them. Let's check out the rest of the Pantheons. Craftsman on 1 iron. I think that people make a wrong choice on Craftsman all the time, and I think that MJK did that here. He chose Craftsman for a horse and an iron. Am I missing something? That's 2 tiles. Why not just take City Patron Goddess? Yeah, exactly, Agatha. Why not pick City Patron Goddess here? That's a hell of a lot more than 2 production. He's taken that for literally 2 production. Whereas if he goes City Patron Goddess, every single one of these cities is getting a bonus of 4, 5, 6 production a turn for the first, for whatever, 6 or 8 turns that they're building a district in every single city. Yeah, 2 faith as well. Good point, Alistair. Yeah, I forgot about that, obviously. Yeah, they got the kill on Armagh. Nice little momentum there. They're going to get an encampment up, of course, half price for them. Harbor's coming online here is not going to help. So very interesting here that London has gone top tree into harbors when they know that Japan is here. If they're paying attention, they know that they went God of the Forge. And, of course, Japan does Japan things with the little unit we like to call the Samurai. So they're going to need to figure out a way to be on the bottom tree here. And potentially a chance to... Oh, no, the Archer will keep them off of that. You can see here Maori's looking to come up here and settle into this. Maybe he just settles right there, perhaps, or here, and leaves the campus set up. Campus harbor set up by settling here. Anytime you can settle a 3-2 bananas, Maori is also very good. It's going to be a battle for the the harbor. So they're seeing this now. Of course, France is down here, so they're going to need to get units up. Galleys are out. More galleys coming. We're going to have to keep a really close eye on the tech tree, so we'll keep on that. Sailing for Teats Teats, so immediately they've pivoted to defending in the water. I think this game, I think right now, this game rides on... Is Jack getting settlers out? No, not yet. He's still doing his sim. He's doing his... Jack does this a lot. I don't mind it at all. He does a 3-city sim setup, especially when he's got a spawn like this. Get Artemis. I'd like to see him take a run at Adamanaki here. That would buff his science. He's got tiles he can do. Now, it's not going to be huge in the capital, but it's going to help out a ton of marsh. It's going to help him out a ton on a lot of these marsh. So I wouldn't mind to play on it, to be honest with you. Maybe not right away. Maybe after another settler or two. But it could make up for the lack of plantations, honestly. Yeah, so anybody else that we didn't check their Pantheon? Open Sky, obviously, C there. Fertility rate, so he just got a free builder. So anything he was getting from his Pantheon is gone now. We did see Craftsman here. I thought it was a potential Earth Goddess pivoting into Chop Chop. He is doing Magnus Chop Chop in the capital. Again, I don't mind this, but I mean, right now he's getting one production versus this. He could have already had this harbor complete if he'd have gone City Patron Goddess. That's my thought. Holy Site Prayer. Holy Site Prayer when nobody else is making points. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, there's literally nobody else. I mean, I guess somebody could build Stonehenge, but in 2 turns, he's going to be 4 shot. Like, I don't know if I agree with the I don't know. Does anybody agree with that? Colosseum on Jack would be perfectly fine. Speaking of free sim, France, a couple more settlers out like we spoke of. So they're 4 turning into 6. They're also getting harbors out. Looks like they're not going to roll over and give this inland sea here. So this could be interesting here. Control of the sea here. And control of Bermuda Triangle could be pivotal as well. Rome going chop chop on the settlers. Going to go settle that horse to justify his Pantheon choice, maybe. I really like God of War and Plunder on Gandhi, by the way. I think that could be huge. I think that could be huge for them. Getting these harbors up quick. He's got good ones, too. So he's going to have a really nice... by the way... Did anybody miss? No, nobody missed. And it's going to be a really nice free ink. So right there is 4. Right here is 5. If he can race to that double adjacency card... this one's not really great, but this one will be good as well. This is, oh my god, when this finishes, that's going to be 5. Oh my god. Plus, if he can race to the double adjacency card, what's his yields at? 19 and 17. He's actually got a really good shot here. If he can double those up right there, free ink could be big. Coupe's done the same thing, so they're both sitting on a lot of science. The biggest problem that Destori is going to have is that, Maori have got their 4 cities, plus they've taken out a city-state, plus they have a settler in the water. So they're just going to slowly lose the race based off of land, right? There's going to be another settle here eventually. This settler came this way. I'm assuming the settler's probably going to go here. Or potentially up here somewhere. Hard to say. Lots of nice turtles up here, so maybe he actually goes there. So that's going to be the limiting factor for him, is he's going to kind of be stuck. He could, like I said, I think it'd be smart for him to come over and settle a couple cities here. Or at least maybe 1 here. Just settle 1 here and try to control this area. Help if he can just help himself to control this area. Settle the copper and control this wonder. Got a lot of good tiles on it, obviously, and it'd be harder to push coming around the edge here. He could protect the river. It's not easy to obviously protect land against France, but France would have a fairly long distance to come to get there, and another city would be really helpful. Yeah, like this could be huge, right? Get his levels right away, and then get to level 2 caravels. Yeah, it could be really big. It could be really big. Jack, now he's pivoting to settlers, as you can see. He did go libraries. By the way, Ethiopia earning 1 point, Jack earning 3.4. Previous, so first up, nobody is on Great Merchants, but there's a trader up, so anybody builds a couple of commercial hubs, they'll be liking the reward. Admirals, first up is the Quadram, so not the greatest one. See the points here. You know what, though? The story has got to be screaming right now for people to build harbors, or else he's going to get controlled. Because Maori and England both doing their thing, and even France. So that means he's going to be no support trying to grab admirals as Destoria. Japan is going a Rel Dog, God of the Forge, Barracks, encampment. Rome had a harbor place, but it's still not built. Or it is built. It is built, but he just hasn't started getting points. So I guess Rome's been volunteered for the spot of helping with admirals, which I don't mind. He'll be able to. He needs to kind of protect this anyway. France, not the most fun to fight in the water. Controlling Bermuda would be big. I think... I don't know. I'm not sure I like Leja's play here, to be honest with you. Like a Rel Dog. Does he have? I don't see the reason why he has to go a Rel Dog here. With God of the Forge into encampment, into projecting a religion. He's got it now. Hasn't made it yet, though. I was thinking maybe a Japan Crusade. Japan Crusade with Samurai could be pretty nasty here. I agree with that. I'm just not 100% sure. I feel like this game's going to be decided on the water, and you've got Japan going a Rel Dog on the land. I just don't know if I'm happy about it. If I'm a Ulysse supporter. Jack's got nasty stats right out of the gate, with a great spawn. Like I said, settler coming. That one will go here, and then you'll have a couple options there, a couple of options there. I'd be curious to see what he's scouted by now as well. Yeah, he has seen everything. He knows that he's got a couple of good cities over here that he can build. Not terrible down here even. A couple more cities down here he can surround with farms. In fact, he might even be able... Oh, he can't quite get 6 farms on any tile here. But, yeah, he'll be okay. He'll be able to do... a later game push on France, potentially. Maybe he could do some sort of other victory condition type, potentially. Maybe start spamming wonders, and I don't know. We'll see.